What if I told you the stress, the discomfort, the tension you feel is not only physical? What if I told you they are actually portals to your subconscious? And when you go through these portals, you're finding what you've been always looking for. But in this video, I want to show you that exactly what you need, you will find not through escaping the tension, but going the opposite direction, actually going into the tension. Because the tensions you experience, you can imagine them like frozen emotions. Emotion means energy in motion. So something is moving within you and it stopped moving. It's almost like emotion that has been frozen in time. And now you can imagine also while looking at me that being frozen is causing a lot of tension in your body. It's like there's a stiffness within you. Something wanted to move, but it's been stopped. So why is that? And why is that causing us distress in the present? So you can imagine it as undigested past becoming present. It's almost like we create an overlay. We are starting to wear glasses from the past that influence and distort our presence. I mean, how many times have you been triggered and you've been actually feeling like a child, and after you've been through that trigger, you were like, oh, what was that? That was strange. That wasn't really me. So we are reacting when we're triggered, and also like partly through the tension we feel in our body, we are reacting to the present through the lens of the past. But instead of reacting to the past unconsciously, we want to relate to the past consciously. Because what I described in the beginning, like all of these coping mechanisms, they are ways of us to cut the relationship we have to the tension. Like, it's super hard for most people, and that might be true for you as well, to actually be with the tensions within our body. It's easier to escape it. It's easier to flee into a fantasy of, I need to fix that, and actually also attempting to fix it. But what if I told you that it's not about fixing it? It's about starting to relate with it in a way that is so warm that the icing, like the frozen emotion, starts to thaw and starts to relax again. And then it can be seen again. And then we are relating consciously through the present to the past, not to the past through the past to the present, but the other way around. So we are aware and conscious of the present. And in the past that is playing out in the present. So the past that I talked about is the tension that you feel. It's like a container of undigested past that we can access through our present awareness. And how do we do that? We build a relationship with it through the somatic experiencing of that tension. And here comes the tricky part for most people, because the key in doing that is actually to doing nothing. It's actually just being with the tension, experiencing the tension, relating the tension. It's almost like something is showing and you have it in your hand and you want to look at it. You want to like be curious and build a relationship with whatever you have here on your hand. And we do that because for whatever this tension here is containing, you can also see it as like a container of an imprint from your past. Like it contains a piece of past that wants to be met with warmth. And why is this past in the container to begin with? It's because this piece of the past, this tension here, was created in a moment of unsafety. So there's a container around a part of us, and that container serves as a protective shield. It's very intelligent because the protective shield was very, very important at some part in their lives. But this container still believes that the past is the present, and the present is unsafety. And this is showing up in various symptoms, various for example, relational conflicts that you have, that a part of you is still experiencing the present moment through the lens of the past, through the lens of danger. So we sort of want to give a software update to that. And we do that through experiencing the tension, through using the breath, for example, to breathe into the tension. We do that through allowing the tension to be there. And here's an insight, like a piece of understanding that makes it easier for you to witness the tensions within you. So the tension you experience, oftentimes we have a part that relates toward that tension as if it was bad, as if it was dangerous, and we actually just want to get rid of the tension, right? No. What if I told you that the tension you're experiencing, the numbness, that shitty feeling that you want like to leave, is also an expression of life? And what's contained within that tension is unlived life, is undigested experience, is unexperienced experience, so to speak. It sounds paradoxical, but like if you feel into it, it makes sense. There's something that we've like left behind in childhood that was contained there, that is being brought into the present over and over again through triggers, through conflicts, through pain, through an overactive mind. It's been carried into the present over and over again. This is also why we loop in certain emotions and why patterns happen over and over and over again. It's the past coming into the present over and over again so that we can meet it with warmth, so the protective shell, the ice around the part, can melt, and we can look at that part with a warm heart and smile towards it warmly. So the tension here is nothing that needs to be fixed. It needs to be understood, because the ice around the part is a part as well. It's a protective layer that was a very intelligent and accurate response to a certain circumstance in your life. And you want to understand that. Why? Because this deserves our respect. And usually, once the protective layers are not understood and released, the wisdom, the part, oftentimes the inner child that is contained within that protective layer, within that tension, cannot be released and integrated. So we want to do both. We want to integrate that which is protecting, and we want to integrate that which is being protected. And we do that through teaching this part that there is no need anymore to protect. That the child, for example, the part that is in that protective layer is safe. There is no danger here. You can relax. You can keep your guards down. And while I talk about it, you can imagine how much energy that costs to keep these guards up, to over and over push against, like maybe my impulses or the impulses from the outside, to access that, like that thing that is in there, maybe the inner, like the child part that is in there. That part is screaming no with all of its force. And this is why we cannot bypass the tension in our body. We cannot bypass the resistance. We need to welcome it. We need to welcome it and ask ourselves, can we allow this tension to be there? And then something magical happens. The tension in our body is alchemized into an emotion. So there's two questions that you can ask. The first I already asked, it's, can you allow for the tension to be there? And the second is, if the tension was an emotion, what emotion would that be? And can you tune in your body with that tension? Can you like fully relate to it? Can you pick up the frequency, the melody of that tension? and tune into the melody. Maybe the tension here is playing the piano, and you want to become the singer that sings to the melody that this piano is playing. And then we turn the tension, the stuck flow, the stuck motion, into emotion, into energy in motion. And we are moved by it. And that's the release. The release is being moved by what has stopped moving within us, what has been frozen in time. And thus, we are not healing the tension or healing our parts. We are healing the relationship to the parts. We are consciously digesting a part of our past. We are allowing that the past is being carried into the present, and we want to meet it with enough consciousness so that part feels safe enough to express itself and to be here. Because if you think about it, if these parts were created, like these protective layers were created in moments of unsafety, you can imagine like what does unsafety means? It means a lack of relationship. It means that the relational field that this part has experienced was not safe. It needed to retreat. It needed to go back and then form like a protective layer around it, so it's distant from the past. So it's afraid, like there's fear, there's anger, there's unsafety in here. And there's like a cutoff in the relationship that happened. And this is why the part is retreating. And what would we want to do? Like if this trauma, if this distancing, if this dissociation, if this tension was created through a lack of relationship, we want to heal it through the presence of relationship. And this is my invitation. We're not healing the part, we're not healing ourselves, we're healing the relationship. And that makes us more free and independent, because our well-being, our inner peace is independent of what comes up. Because it's all about relationship. It's not about being free from trauma. It's not about free from our patterns. It's about expanding our tolerance towards experiencing certain states that have been really difficult to experience in the past. And increase the level of peace we have with that, with all the emotions, even with anger, even with like intense grief. Learning to be at peace with that and integrate the wisdom and the knowledge that these parts have, so they don't have to form like yet another protective layer that is expressing as pain and tension. We want to allow, we want to loosen the grip. And we want to loosen the grip to that which is showing in the present as past, and we want to loosen the grip towards whatever is spontaneously coming up throughout our lives. We want to allow. So I hope you found this video helpful. I'll see you in the comment section. Leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.